one of the intruders. One of the children of the dust. What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The cradle of summer is not a flower for the plucking. Mortals, children of the dust. Those who seek only to steal the treasures of the land from which we sprung, to end the deep slumber. Mortals, like you, who seek to bend nature to their will, to make it bow before them as a servant, not embrace it as a guide and mother. Mortals, thieves, liars, and weaklings. They have stolen items of great power. They have stolen the 3 staffs. They are Rivener Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. 3 incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle. There is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The 3 staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the cradle than I could imagine. But likely you will not. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagney. It is the most powerful form of Fey reverie, a connection between our people and our birthplace of Ashara, the realm from which all magic is born. We in the Cradle of Summer slumber to protect this sacred place. We draw energy from our homeland and use it to maintain the barriers that keep out the beasts and men. I am Kala, guardian of the Cradle. Terenia and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. I am Kala, guardian of the Cradle. Terenia and I, for many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the Cradle of Summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. They were wielded during the long twilight of the Withering War. Those 3 weapons uprooted mountains and left the lush plain forsaken. They are the lightning, the fire, and the ice. They are precious. And while their magic has weakened in these fair lands, they are still cherished and must be returned. Move swiftly.
Look to these open plains, nestled where mire and rocky deserts cease, where the hungry forests end, in the bosom of the Feyland.
Hi. My, you've gone and killed the spiders. How grand, how very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janics. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems, their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. You met Molly? I love Molly. We haven't seen each other for years. She likes to talk about alchemy, while I like to do it. Have you ever eaten star thistle? It burns. I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the summer fae first rose from the earth. I find the fae very odd. How about you? So long.
Don't mind me. Just another refugee looking for a handout. Life's tough, what with the Freemen striking us at every turn. You understand, I'm sure. So, you found out. Gelt told you, did he? No matter. The amulet is cursed. That old fool in Emer won't want it back. I am a refugee, heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. Wonderful. Give it here. The amulet itself isn't worth the stone it's made from, but it's the story that interests me. Something of Armand's belongs to me. I don't have much in the way of gold, but I have acquired quite the collection of useful items in my, travels? Take your time. I've still got several pints of blood left. You're back.
What is this? What news do you bring me? Disgusting, sweaty, pathetic things. Do not misunderstand me. I have sympathy for the wretched, but only if they're far from my doorstep. One must keep an eye on every possession since the freemen began to terrorize the plain. Some dare to enter the village even with the militia outside. I am W. Mundus, owner of Oddities and Curios by W. Mundus. I have lived in our village for nearly 1 year. I detest it, and don't get me started on the Alpha. This village was once a bustling crossroads for traders and dealers in the arcane. However, in recent years, it has become a barren outpost for the ignorant. I stole an amulet and stripped of its pesky curse. Beautiful, isn't it? Now that it won't kill you, that is. Hand it over. I can offer you riches, my friend. Gold. And what is better than that? Anything your heart desires in this world can be purchased. Well, you'd better become sure before I suspend my offer, or before I summon the militia to drag you off to Rathir for justice. Goodbye.
Have you had a change of heart? Please, look at me. That's why I like you. You prefer action to debate. You will go far because of it. Like me. Well, like me before I was betrayed and left for dead. Bye.
You with that Docklefar woman? Well, between you and me, I think she might be a bit off her head. That's what the cards say, at any rate. Nasty out there. But with Freeman plaguing the roads south, there's not much safer travel to be had. Don't know much about it, really. I'm not from here, I'm just passing through. If you've got a knack for it, there's a living to be scratched out of fate weaving. Farmers like to know their yields in advance. Pleasant travels.
Hello again.
in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. I fought our winter court enemies right here on this soil, but it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. That's laughable. I don't know you. I don't trust you. And I don't like the looks of you. I'm plagued by visions of what your kind call the future. A telling beyond the present. It is all because of this new god. She clouds my thoughts, confuses me. Mortals are fond of tricks, and tricks I will not stand. This is my time. The whispers tell me so. How many times must I tell you to depart? You do not wish to feel my wrath, mortal. How many times must I tell you to depart? You do not go on. Speak your intentions or leave me be. How many times must I tell you to depart? You do not wish to feel my wrath. Go on. Greetings. Speak your intentions or leave me be. Be gone.
from this tale that you mortals create myths. There were many battles, many losses, many victories. The Tempest spared no one. Your ancestors hid as the ground trembled under the gathered armies of Lord Ulm. They whispered tales of the radiant Issa, striking the winter Fae like lightning, tearing the looming clouds. It was everything you know of war.
Greetings.
Then returned the prophetess to her people, who, content with largesse, would stay in their wintry country. Hail! Her weight, that way was traveled. Our cousins, we say unto you, be no more troubled by our plight. We will go to the opposite ends of Alfaria and be Dokkelfar That does not seem so strange. I'm sure you I mentioned unrest in my song. I know it indeed. When I was young, I was visited by someone in this world. It was an ephemeral ghost. I called it a divine spirit, for I had no better word to describe it. This thing was not fey, but possessed a timelessness like one. It glowed with an aura of magic about it, but I was not afraid, for a serene peace was born on the countenance of this divine spirit.
care to join me in my work? You look like you could use a few moments of quiet reflection. An incredible region, one that begs to be studied. Where else can one truly get a sense of the withering war and its dramatic effects on our world? Of course, the Cradle, an incredible setting, so rich in its magical history. I was there months ago searching for artifacts, but only came across a few random wand components and a reagent or two. Nothing fantastic, but definitely worth the trip. It is endlessly fascinating. We have nothing like it in all our long histories. The Fae are singular in their abhorrence of warfare. It's what makes them unique. I am a student of the world, my friend. The world. One cannot learn what he wishes to know from books and recipes. No, he must search the countryside for answers. Look around you. This ruin holds knowledge so deep that no one man will glean it. But that will not keep Arion Raff from trying. Ha! This warped old rod? I can't imagine why you'd have any interest in it. It's a patchwork piece, cobbled together from bits and bobs. However, I did invest many hours of my life in its construction. My hands still bear the calluses. I would part with it for a price. That's quite all right. You will find a way. People in the Forsaken, be well. Hello there. You again. Still interested in my staff, Darksleep? That's quite all right. You will... Goodbye then.
You may think I'm lying, but unfortunately I'm telling the truth as I saw it then anyway. This thing was a fleeting companion, but a companion nonetheless. Do you hear? It's the earthly moans of time. Listless motes of cavern dust, the crumbled ruin beneath our feet, all the ordained path of the blessed. You have found their way, their sons, you and me. No, I was wrong.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. Few of us had even spoken to each other before the Tuatha came, but tragedy has a way of throwing disparate souls together. I don't care where we are. All I care about is finding some place to call home. So if they can keep that blasted battle their glory, I just want a decent night's sleep. I was a seamstress who made nets for the coastal fishermen. My hands may be callous, but they're strong. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawilling. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. I have no idea what you mean. The thought is offensive at best. I'll teach you not to make such accusations. Bye.
Welcome. I know our little camp doesn't look like much, but it's home. After all, what is home but a place where people love you? I am Lord Crass, heir to Dolve Arn, and soon to be mayor of New Culm. Ah, I'm glad you asked. The village of Culm was a place of peace, of prosperity. Now it is little more than ashes and bones. But by burning our homes, the Tuatha have kindled in us a fire for survival. We will build a new Culm, All I need is the gold to support this bold undertaking, possibly by retrieving the treasures of Colne. Care to help? There are many valuables, but only a chosen few will fetch the kind of gold we need to begin construction. A painting, an urn, a box, and some jewelry. A nobler soul I've never met. Now, here is what I intend to do, because like all good leaders, I have a plan. My plan involves the treasures of Colne. The people of this good village were not mere farmers, but members of the highest strata. Their collection of valuables was truly second to none. To safeguard those possessions, and because many proved cumbersome on this long journey, they hid them. I want you to bring them to me. Sadly, we will need to sell them. The war took everything these poor folk possessed. Their farms, their families, their future. Now they search for hope in a hopeless land. At Dolvearn, I was born into wealth, into prestige, and I took it for granted. That is why I've devoted myself to raising these good people up. It is no place for these people. I've seen many sorrowful sights in my travels abroad, and nothing could have prepared me for the suffering I've witnessed here. If what they say is true, then the Forsaken Plain is truly cursed. Only the Fae could have spoiled a place so utterly. To them, death is just a new beginning. My cousin Cliath abandoned Dolvearn for a life of waste and frivolity in Rathir. When the war began, I was forced to hand everything over to the Alfar army, except Erlich here. I will return one day. It is my birthright. Out here? No, I have not seen any Tuatha on this long, treacherous road. However, there are plenty of other dangers to avoid. Trust me. Bandits prowl the high cliffs to the east, and there is talk of spies among the refugees. But I am not one to heed rumors and suspicions. The items are in Bitter Cove, east of here near the hills. It was deserted when we spent the night there, but I fear it's been... Goodbye.
The winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a godstorm gathered up the land, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus from frozen lands. Upon each hill the priestess sat, and closer to Erebor they came. People walked in groups, houses of blackened, lighting the light of gold and silver. Lush trees to the first makers of the bread before reaching the mages that awaited William's touch and power.
Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. I'm just here. What do you want me to say? My farm was burned just like everyone else's. They had farms in Culm, right? I worked in my uncle's granary. I hated it, but I guess that doesn't matter now. I'll take the little gold I have left and start my own business. Someplace safe, I hope. They aren't so scary. People round here are just bitter because the Tuatha destroyed their lives. I guess it's mostly a matter of perspective. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. Who told you? Was it Froma? I knew she was weak. I need the gold, okay? The Tuatha took everything. The least I can do is take their money. Listen, spare me and I'll leave. Disappear. Just go where they can never find me. That's a promise. Goodbye.
I saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriata's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny their connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. I am no one. Everything that defined me, my livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Tuatha. Lyra is my life now. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriata's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. Goodbye and good luck.
Hello again.
Oh.
The deep slumber predicted your coming, as it did many things about you. You were meant to find the stars, to reforge them, and ultimately to keep them. Those of my kind do not flinch from the winter, but the nights grow exceptionally cold and the air holds the stench of decay. Mortals, it seems, will outlast us all. Take the staffs, wield them. They have called you as they once called down the lightning and lit the earth with fire. Do not lose heart on your perilous journey. Farewell.
The summer begins here, O mortals. And when the final winter leaves its chill breath on the stones of your fathers and mothers, you will witness the end of days. And it will happen here, where it began, a peaceful death in the cradle.
You have absolutely no idea what you've done, do you? Mortal soul is trying to take something. Thanks to you, the barrier is broken, and the magic weakens. If we do not act swiftly, the Cradle of Summer will be lost. The Cradle of Summer is a blessed place, and we must protect it from those that wish to make such power their own. My burial served its purpose for many seasons, but magic everywhere has been in decline. Your disturbance of the lore stones destroyed the barrier. You are responsible. All of this world's power flows from the wild of Ashara, and there are places where it touches us directly. Our power comes from a single source, drifting in the air around us, a light on the surface. We protect the cradle with a magical barrier. But now that you've tainted the lore stones, I must sacrifice my own power to replace what was then come. I will restore the barrier at the font, but you must protect me. The wild fae will be here soon. This is the chance they've been... Farewell.
The summer begins here, O mortals. And when the final winter leaves its chill breath on the stones of your fathers and mothers, you will witness the end of days. And it will happen here, where it began, a peaceful death in the cradle.
You have absolutely no idea what you've done. Thanks to you, the barrier... It is most notable where the power of Ashura spills into our world. Our sacred wellspring. The flow has weakened, slowing the great cycle. But I don't need to see the fonts to know that all is lost. It is from this earth where the summer fae are said to have sprung. Fully formed, eternal flock for many seasons. Our kind have fought to protect the cradle of summer. I am a guardian of the cradle, tasked with protecting this wondrous place. If necessary, I will sacrifice myself to ensure that the magic here is kept safe. You have the cradle of my your disturbance of the lore stones then come. Farewell. You have absolute thanks to you. Farewell. This is your doing. The cradle. Your disturbance of the lore. Then come. Farewell. You have absolute thanks to you, the very cradle of my your disturbance of the Lord, then come. Farewell. You have absolute thanks to you, the barrier is broken. The cradle of my your disturbance of the Lord's done, then come. Farewell. am so weary. But it is done, and the cradle is safe once more. Perhaps the first one spoke the truth. That the fonts are running dry. That things are finite after all, and not sensationless. Die.
Keep your eyes on your possessions.
The road has been long for you, my friend. You wear the dust of a job well done. I thank you. The people of the Tool, I have seen much savagery on the eastern shores. May it stay there, where blood fills the boots of the fallen. We all do our part. You have to stay vigilant.
Mind your ways while you're here. Right then. Mind your ways while you're here. Good. Night to you. One of the Order, eh? The Second Plains contract takes a particular sort to pull a ring out. Here's your pay. Wait, have you washed your hands? You've all the scrolls then? Good. Nasty thieves, them kobolds. Here's your gold then. Goodbye.
You're a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. Not all of us are from the village of Colm. We come from all along the Tuili coast. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as the leaders like Lord Crass and... You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain, for every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Detir, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave. But not... They say he died early in the March West, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved, but the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to... If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken... Bye.
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber? Treasure hunter? Or like us? A refugee in search of shelter? We probably could have sought refuge in Mathir, but there is no way that Dokkelfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Feet. The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Culm, but it was nothing like this. The bandits don't get you. She's from the camp on the hill leading into a mare. She's a liar and a thief. Twice I've caught her sneaking into our tents to steal food. Worse than a boggart. Omer Vogard was Culm's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attack that his hands gave out. Now I can't even hold a bow. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life. One to rival a good man, that one. Not one to give up on me. Well, it's good to know we're not forgotten. We can't leave. The tomb floor is rigged with a trap. We barely made it halfway in before Fea Gort rose from every shadow. We reached the stairs, but now we're stuck. We weren't looting, believe me. We'd have no place to put it. In fact, we've already stored most of our valuables in Bitter Cove to lighten our load. All we were hoping for was some shelter from the elements, for a moment's shade. But this tomb is protected by something devilish, and it wants us out. How noble of you. If this were any other situation, I would question your generosity. But seeing as we're out of food, the lever to deactivate the blades is located in the room at the top of the stairs. Past the rune trap that if you can get us out of this, you'll be someone special indeed. Bye.
You've come to save us?
I thought we were doomed.
Here to save us?
We've been here for an eternity.
I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. You'd best leave.